As a rising star or star in business, how important is it to have a strong brand image and a reputable brand across social media?
When you become an influencer, it gives you the edge that separates you from the competition. The GIP initiative, the Global Influencers Partners Program, is designed to expose you to over 5 billion potential consumers across the world. When you are a rising star in business and you need visibility, reach, impact, client conversion, and cash flow optimization, positioning yourself to become a global influencer may be the ideal tool that you need in your arsenal to win in business. I encourage you to join the GIP initiative and position your business to build confidence, trust, and credibility and cash flow optimize the fastest.
Now, regardless of if you're using social media, mass media, the metaverse, or independent communication channel, having a strong brand image and a reputable brand is an essential part of doing business. Today, I will look at how to build a strong and reputable brand and how to make it big on social media. We will look at why build a strong and reputable brand and how to do that. So we have a lot to unpack today. So I do encourage you to get your pens, your paper, call a friend and tell a friend that Habits and Money, we're on air and we're going to be giving away a lot of information that can position you to become a stronger influencer. Now, let's begin by looking at why attempt to make it big on social media. One, on social media, particularly so Facebook, we have a large number of users. We have approximately 3.049 billion users per month, and that's billion in the B, capital B. You have a large number of audience base here. Whether they are your specific demographic or not, you have to do the deep diving, the sifting, to be able to make an informed and educated decision. But at the end of the day, you have a large number of people here. Secondly, on YouTube, YouTube also has a large consumer base, a large audience base. They have like 2.70 billion users, and that's not a capital B, a large number of persons who are here. On YouTube, we have approximately 122 million users per day. It is definitely an outstanding platform to position your brand and to be known, like, and trust. And I'll talk about that as time progresses, how it has helped us to get into that know, like, and trust. On Instagram, you have a large audience base here too. You have approximately 2.4 billion users, another large consumer base. If that is not enough, why you should attempt to build up a strong brand image and position a reputable brand via social media, I don't know what else is. Not just in social media, but across communication platform. Having a strong brand image and a reputable brand is an essential part of doing business. You know, we talk about market viability in the context of the SWOT analysis. When you are able to establish a strong brand image and a reputable brand, it makes the market more attracted to you because of your imaging, because of your repetition. And this is one of the strengths in the SWOT that you want to have. So when we talk about market viability in the context of the SWOT analysis, you are looking at a viable market, but then you're looking at your strengths to leverage the opportunities that exist. Now, the SWOT analysis talks about strengths and weaknesses and opportunities and threats. Over the last few days, we have done a deep dive into a number of strengths that, as a rising star or star in business, you want to ensure that you have. And one of those strengths that you want to have is to ensure that you have a strong brand image and a reputable brand. Let me quickly go through some of the strengths that we have covered so far. As we talk about market viability in the context of the SWOT analysis, we looked at things like the importance of having or being in a strong financial position. We talk about a strong technological advantage. Are you anywhere close to having, the technological advantage? We talk about market differentiation and having a unique patent. We talk about having a skilled workforce. We also talk today, that's what we're going to be going into, strong brand image and reputable brand. I want to begin by looking at some facts. I'm going to talk now about how we did it. All right, what we did and how we did it. One of the things that we have done over the last 7 months, we have started and successfully optimized one of our YouTube channel. In fact, two of them. And over the last 7 months, what we have done is really build out a strong brand image, and it has proven to be a reputable brand. When you go to YouTube, our channel, we have attracted over 50,000 subscribers to this platform in 7 months. And anyone using YouTube, you are fully aware that this is not an easy accomplishment. Yes, it was very expensive, but it was worth it. And you will learn why it was expensive to accomplish this. But we have accomplished 50,000 subscribers. We have attracted 50,000 subscribers to this platform over the last 7 months. It has also allowed us to reach over 50 countries. So places that we never thought was possible to reach because of social media, we are now able to build out our brand image there. And based on the content that we are producing, it has helped us to get to the know, like, and trust, and that plays into the brand credibility. The platform now, it is well positioned to attract over 10,000 views per broadcast in a very short period of time. And this can play a very significant role in enhancing clients' visibility, because we will talk about, monetization and how this can play a significant role in enhancing not only your visibility, but in clients' visibility. Our team are now looking at the fastest way to attract 100,000 views and 200,000 views, 1 million views in a short period of time. This is what we have been able to accomplish. So let us go a little deeper into this analysis. Again, what we have seen is that millions of people across the world, you're trying to produce content and to become successful influencers on YouTube. Millions of people become frustrated when their action prove futile on YouTube. You are not able to reach an audience, not able to monetize your platform. To become a social media influencer, it's important to recognize that there are 8 important systems you need to learn, apply, and master. Now, I'm going to share something with you, and why learning, applying, and mastering the system I'm about to introduce to you is so important. We are not new to YouTube. I have been using YouTube for quite a number of years, but what I simply did was upload content. I didn't look at things like the thumbnail. I didn't look at things like description. I didn't look at things like SEOs. And I was just saying organically, I want the channel to grow. But in 5, 6, 7 years, nothing significant happened until we made a decision that we're going to build a team of subject matter experts that understand all of the above, and we're going to go to work. So there are 8 important concepts that you want to know when you want to make it big on social media. And let me go through this table of content. One of the first things that you want to take away and spend a lot of time really understanding, or at least ensure that you have a subject matter expert with you that is helping you with this, you want to look at your content design and presentation structure. There's so many people that just appear in front of the camera, you start to speak. Is that the best thing to do? So in our program, we go deep into content design and presentation structure. Second, we look at content research and content creation. And if you want to make it big, you need to understand what I'm saying here. We talk about content delivery and personal branding. As you deliver, are you bringing any personal branding into that process? We also talk about content recording and content editing. All of these things are important steps for you to understand when you want to position yourself for greatness on social media. There's also content upload and social media algorithm. How much do you know about the algorithm to possibly influence you on the best time to do your upload? Then you need to learn about content SEO optimization, and search engine optimization is something that you need to focus on. So you're seeing already there are a lot of moving parts. It just didn't happen for us. We had to knowledgeably go into this and navigate this process to have accomplished what we have accomplished. Then something that the average person takes for granted. Yes, you may be on these platforms that has billions of people, but are you doing content promotion? It is necessary to do content promotion. And here is where it costs you a lot of money. One, you have a team, but then you also have to promote. You have to pay your team, and then you have to promote. And there's a lot of people that has a falsified notion that you can just appear on social media and you make it big. No, all of these things are things that needs to look at. And I'm talking here from a lot of experience from ourselves ourselves that we are now using with ourselves, we are using with other clients to really position them for greatness. And last but not least, we talk about content monetization. The beauty about making it big on social media is that you have multiple sources of income. For example, on YouTube, you are able to monetize via AdSense. And what YouTube also does, they give you multiple platforms to incorporate into your channel that can generate income itself. So, for example, you can do things like produce a course, upload a course, and they provide a facility for, persons to purchase. So there's a lot. And along with that, there is many other, but we're going to go into that today. Today, I'm going to do a high level overview. I may not go deep into it, but at least I'm going to give you enough information for you to make a better, smarter, wiser decision as you start thinking of how to make it as a social media influencer, particularly so if you're in business, because having a business and being able to leverage your minimum or most valuable across social media platform, it can definitely help to enhance your visibility. So let's talk a little bit about content design and presentation structure. Your presentation structure, again, you just don't want to appear in front of the camera and you start speaking, because you are likely to roll and ramble all over the place. And when the audience see this is happening, they lose interest. So the opportunity to command how you're known, to command how you're liked, and command how you're trusted, you lose total control of that. So you want to start thinking about things like your introduction, your body, your conclusion. And as you think about introduction, body, and conclusion, there's what I talk about a lot, your high impact statement, your high impact introduction that really allows you to, from the get-go, to command attention, pique interest, arouse desire, and has enough, substance in it to move the client into action. That means you must have a call to action. To do all of this, there's a lot of moving parts here. You should understand the demographic you're talking to. You should understand the psychographic of the demographics that you're relating to. You should understand how to deploy emotional intelligence at its best. So there's a lot of detail that goes into becoming strong at what you're doing. I'm not saying that you're going to learn this overnight, but I'm saying to you, all of these things play significantly in how you are building that strong brand image and a reputable brand. Doing this helps. The body of your presentation, you want to have a high impact storytelling. You must be able to use some form of storytelling, and there are a number of different approaches that you can use. You must be good at word description. You have to know perhaps how to incorporate climax and anticlimax. You need to know how to bring in perhaps protagonists and antagonists. You need to master some of the principle of what we call the influencer model. For example, if you're not a good storyteller, perhaps you can be given good information. You can be an educator. You can be an entertainer. You can be a motivate. You can inspire. These are all elements that helps to sustain the interest of your audience base. And if you're not taking all of this into consideration, is a missed opportunity to achieve impact with the ideal client. This again is no different than marketing. In marketing, we talk a lot of the importance of really taking the time to understand your ideal client based on their buyer data markers. The more you understand about the ideal client and you deploy that type of data into you becoming a social media influencer, it makes it easier for you to build content, because you're building content not for yourself, but you're building content to align to the dreams and hopes and aspiration of the audience base. Important concepts for you to consider. Conclusion, strong conclusion. Can you incorporate a high impact call to action? Can you introduce something that makes a life-changing offer for your audience? All of this plays an important role in how you position the brand to be known, to be liked, to be trusted. And, very often we talk about the know, like, and trust. And sometimes it sounds taboo. It sounds because you hear it all the time. But I want to pause here a little bit and just talk about the know, like, and trust. And I want you to really think very deep about this. Let us assume that you are on an island and you come into a lottery, you win a lot of money. And around you, you you have your mom, your dad, and you have a stranger, and you want this money to come off of the island. Who would you choose, mom and dad or the stranger? I just want to bring home some information here. You immediately would not even think about a stranger, all right? Particularly so if your mom and dad and you grew up in the right circumstances. Because you know your mom, you know your dad, you would, without even thinking, give them that money to deposit in the bank or take it to some place that you want it to go. The same principle applies. The person who is making or that purchasing decision, they are going to be more motivated to buy from the people that they know can best serve their interests. Again, especially when we are talking from the middle, upper, and the upper middle and the affluent society, they're going to make a choice to invest. They have established the know, like, and trust. We're going to go deeper into that as time progresses. So I just emphasize this to bring home the importance of the know, like, and trust. Now, let's talk a little bit about content and research and content creation. As a social media influencer, a rising star, someone attempting to build a strong brand image and a reputable brand on social media, in the metaverse, in the mass media or independent communication channel, there are a number of important concepts for you to understand. First, let's talk about research your MVTM. The MVTM in this context means your minimum viable target market or your most viable target market. Again, as an influencer, you're not influencing you, you're influencing an audience. And for you to achieve impact with the audience, it makes sense to take the time to understand the audience and how do you position, what steps do you take to ensure that you understand your audience. You have to collect the right information. You must have the core competence to analyze that information. And after analyzing the information, you want to now up-level that information into content. We're talking about content research and content creation. Again, you just don't appear, you research. And it's vital. We had to research this content, which after many, many years of researching this, it has become second nature. And we know that we're speaking to an audience that needs information as to how to make it big on social media. And we have thousands, hundreds of thousands of persons out there who wants to make it big. So we have researched that, and this content is for you. So as we look at content research and content creation, the content creation should not be divorced from the content research, because it is the research that is helping you to understand your ideal client. It is the research that is helping you to understand their specific needs. It is the research that is helping you to understand how to innovate products and services in alignment with the specific needs of the ideal client. But if you don't have the research, you don't understand their pain point. And if you don't understand the pain point, the high probability exists that you may be speaking a language that they don't understand. You may be speaking a language that is not relevant to them. Again, this is why we introduced the ideal client stress test ladder, because alignment must take place. You want to establish brand relevance. Even as an influencer who wants to make it big on social media, you need to establish brand relevance. And the only way to establish brand relevance as you develop your content is to first of all ensure that you understand your ideal client based on the biodata markers. You need to take time to ensure that you understand the ideal client based on their specific needs. And then you move to content creation. Many persons do it in the reverse. And then when you fail, you say, why me? You're struggling, you're fighting hard, you're doing everything that people say you should do, and you're not being successful. Well, I'm here to say that you're not necessarily doing everything. I don't know where you're getting the advice from, but you're not doing everything, because doing everything is research is a part of it. You just don't produce content. You research content. You identify the ideal client, you identify their needs, and then you innovate. That allows you to achieve better results. And that's what we call setting the stage to achieve high reward, measurable results, predictable outcome with the highest degree of accuracy. It's a lot of work that has to be done.
Elevate your business with 10X Branding and Marketing LLC. Our expert team specializes in enhancing your brand's visibility and connecting you with your ideal clients. We employ strategies that increase reach, leaving a lasting impact and driving client conversion. Trust and credibility are vital in businesses, and excel in building them even with a limited budget. Our cost-effective approaches ensure you get the best results without overspending. Ready to boost your business cash flow? Contact us at 332-235 T99 and let 10X Branding and Marketing LLC guide you to success. Our focus is on elevating your visibility, which directly translates to growth. Experience the power of effective branding and marketing with us and witness your business thrive.
The type of information that you're going to be collecting is going to be variable. You have demographic data collection, you have psychographic data collection, you have geographic data collection. And as time progresses, I will go deep into each one of them so you have a more clinical interpretation of what each of them represent. But you need to know this. And if you don't know, get an expert to work with you that can help you to unlock all of this, that can put you in that position of strength where you're able to make better, smarter, wiser decision as a content producer. Let me just go a little bit into this for you. You want to identify the ideal client needs, wants, and expectation. These are some important things for you to be able to identify. You want to be able to identify the ideal client market accessibility, particularly so if you are producing a product and you want to know where the clients are at. Because one of the things that social media is able to do is to reach a specific demographic at a specific location that represents a specific type. So you can literally select your audience base, and as you get into promotion, you can drive traffic to a specific demographic. But again, if you don't know all of this, again, your ad is running, but it is running in Cloud9. You want to have specific demographic targeting. So there's so much that we have to unpack here, but I'm doing a high level overview today. And as time progresses, as you come into our masterclass, we're going to go much, much deeper into this analysis to ensure that you have this kind of data to make wiser, smarter decisions. Now, I want to talk about another concept which we're going to call design high impact MVO. You want to design a high impact MVO. Many of you would have heard me use this term before. The MVO means minimum viable offer. It also means most viable offer. It also represents maximum viable offer. Are you able to design a high impact MVO? Taking the time to understand this is very important. One of the things that we see many rising stars in business do, you are excited about becoming a social media influencer, and you have a lot of general thoughts that are flowing through your head. So instead of developing a high impact MVO, sometimes you focus on multiple MVO. Instead of focusing on the minimum viable offer, the most viable offer, you focus on what we call the maximum viable offer. That means that you're going to market with multiple different talking points. What happens when you do that? Just think about it. Common sense will tell you this. Common sense will tell you this. So what we advise is you may have 10 great ideas. You don't want 10. You want a 1 in 10 of brand selection. It's what we call the 1 in 10 factors of brand selection. You don't need 10 things. You don't necessarily need plan B and plan C and plan D. Because if you're very good in market research, remember, you've done the market research. So you're able to identify brand relevance. You're able to identify market viability based on market size, density, and dispersion, and based on the SWOT analysis, the PEST analysis, and the PEST analysis. So why do you need a second plan? You need a plan that is well researched, that tells you the probability for success is 90% or 99.1% based on data. All right, based on data that gives you high reward, measurable results, predictable outcome with the highest degree of accuracy. Because of the fact that you're using data-driven approach in the content design, you are identifying the 1 in 10 factors of brand selection that you're going to market with. This means that you're identifying an area that you're strong in, or an area that you need to be strong in, an area that is viable, and you are becoming and presenting yourself as the subject matter expert. You have built a strong brand image here, and you're building a reputable brand simply because you have done this. Now, that's what the suggestion is making to you. Now, let me give you some of the reasons why this suggestion is so important. To elevate one brand through the know, like, and trust through the visibility, reach, and impact and client conversion to get to cash flow optimization is not an easy task. It takes human, technical, and capital resources to do all of this. And that comes back to the point. There are many person gets onto social media and want to make it big, wants to become an instant success. But do you have the human, technical, and capital resources, the skilled human resources to help you to achieve the objective? In most cases, no. So you don't have all the human resources to move the vision forward. You're doing it, me, myself, and I. And instead of doing one, you're doing 10 different talking points at the same time. It's more mental energy you have to deploy into this, not just into production, but then you're doing the recording, you're doing the edit, you're doing the upload, you're doing the SEO, you're doing all of the above. That's a recipe for disaster. You're going to undermine your success. You're going to get burned out. Mastering, designing high impact MVO, you just did one. I'm not saying that you're going to stick with one for the rest of your life, but you're going to stick with one long enough that you get to cash flow optimization. And then you could apply what we call the 20/80 rule. You focus on the 20% and you delegate this entire project out to team leaders that you would have trained to execute exactly how you want them to execute. And then you could look at the next big thing. So it's about mastering your minimum viable offer, mastering your most viable offer, and delaying mastering your maximum viable offer. That's where you're managing multiple things at the same time. I had to put this in, canceling out the other. All right, you don't necessarily need the plan B and C and D when you have enough data that is telling you plan A is the plan, because you have done the research, you have the data, you have the scientific information, you have the proof that is informing your decision. You're not speculating, guesstimating, and you're not using speculation as an expert opinion. You're using data. So food for thought. I'll talk briefly about content delivery and personal branding. In making a presentation, in delivering your content, are you thinking about personal branding? Are you thinking about how your personal brand is being communicated to the audience? These are important concepts that you want to take into consideration. For example, are you appearing mentally awakened and mentally alert? Or are you staggering and pausing too much as you express yourself? Are you making it appear as though you don't know what you're talking about? You need to prepare yourself before you deliver your content, because the way you deliver is going to ultimately play into how you're shaping your personal brand, how the public is drawing an opinion of you. So these are things that you need to think about, because guess what? You have control of all of this. But when you divorce yourself from controlling how you influence this process, you leave Murphy law to kick in, and that's everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And one of the things that is going to go wrong here is that you are not predetermining how you project your personal image based on how you deliver yourself. I know this is a lot of heavy lifting. It's going to take some time for you to get to this point. But my role is to ensure that you build a strong brand image and a reputable brand. Perhaps I'm not talking to the hustler who just wants to appear and scream and, do some things. I am talking to those persons that wants to make high impact, who wants to be knowledgeable, subject matter experts, who wants to be perceived by their audience as subject matter expert. So you want to take and pay close attention to this. Are you projecting emotional intelligence as you present yourself? But just before I come to emotional intelligence, there's a couple other things that I want to say on mental awakeness and mental alertness, because a lot plays into this. To already optimize your energy level, mental awakeness, mental alertness, are you thinking about your sleep-wake cycle? That might sound trivial to the average person, but because of how deep we go into research and analysis and data collection, we know that this is very important, because something special happens when you rest. All right, when you rest, you optimize melatonin, and the melatonin is what we call the nighttime neurotransmitters. And because you have optimal melatonin, because you're managing your sleep-wake cycle, it translates into optimal serotonin. And the serotonin is a daytime neurotransmitter that translates into energy, alertness. All of these things are things that you're looking at. As a content producer, are you divorced from taking care of your physical and mental health, looking into rest? All of these things are important. They're important things to consider, because if you appear on camera and you didn't sleep well the night before and you're tired, you're communicating that information to your audience, and it's part of your personal brand image that you're communicating there. It is perhaps saying that you're not taking yourself serious, or you're not even taking your audience serious, to want to bring the energy to your presentation that allows you to have super control over your messaging. Now your messaging running away from you. Things to think about. I'm saying there's a lot of heavy lifting, and even as we build out our content, today we have over 50,000 subscribers from 50 different countries. We continue to go deeper and deeper and deeper into our thesis. We do everything that we are telling you to do because we know it works, and we want to help you to be successful in becoming a social media influencer. One, and two is to build a strong brand that is reputable, and we're going to teach you how to do it the right way. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence means that you are sensitive to self and sensitive to people and your environment. You know, there's some speakers that speaks and they really don't really care about the next person in the room, but are you deploying emotional intelligence? I'm going to say this. For some there, this could be a strategy. Being emotional intelligent as an influencer, as you build your brand up, can work both ways. I have seen persons who allow themselves to be very sensitive of the people in the room and deliberately deploy content of information to trigger off a desired results. That desired results could be positive or negative, but they are deliberately doing that. Now, as a skilled content producer, as a brand expert, you need to know how to do this too. So whether you want it to go east or west or north or south, you're using your intellectual capabilities to achieve this. Emotional intelligence. These are things for you to think about. As you come into our community, we're going to go deeper into this to ensure that you can master all of this. Master all of this. Some other concepts for you to consider is master one influencer model at a time. And I talk about that briefly at the beginning. We have developed a concept that we call influencer models. And as influencers, you can be doing, one of four things or a few of them. As an influencer, you can be an educator. You want to master this if this is what you want to do. I'm not a person who crack joke at all. Sometimes I do, but I'm not the expert with entertainment. I'm an educator. So I ensure that I have enough information to present myself as one of the best in this field. You want to master one of them. So you could be a master educator, a master entertainer, a master motivator, a master inspirer. You want to focus on one of these things and ensure that you can deliver yourself high impact delivery. And this is something that you really need to focus on. It has a lot to do with content delivery and your personal branding. Are you thinking about all of this before you actually get behind the camera? All right. If not, why not? Because all of these things are what's going to play significantly in shaping public opinion of who you are. Next, you have things like become the subject matter expert. At least try to become a subject matter expert in one field. To start with, in one field. You owe it to yourself and you owe it to your audience, especially when you want to make high impact. You owe it. In building your personal brand, you want to at least portray yourself as a subject matter expert in one. Now, some of the other things that you want to also focus on is how you how you deliver yourself. We talk about things like mastering vocal variety. Are you able to use pitch and pause and power in your presentation? Sometimes you may be, cool in your presentation. Some may call it lukewarm. And then suddenly so you come alive. You bring high energy to your presentation. Then you pitch it out a little longer. Why all of this is necessary as you deliver yourself, as you build a personal brand? It's not just about the hype, but it's the psychology behind all of this. If you continue to speak in a flat, monotone way, is it weighing on your listeners? So sometimes you have to know just when to pitch, just when to say it loud enough to wake them up. These are all techniques. Your body speaks a language too. So you will have to master body language. So if I say this, the average person associate this with money. So I'm just using that as a symbol to help you to understand that body language also speaks. And are you able to knowingly incorporate all of these techniques into your presentation? It's going to help to make it more impactful. There's a lot for us to unpack, as I said at the beginning. So what I will do, I will present today's content in two parts. The next concept that I'm going to begin to look at is content recording and content editing. But I really trust that you would have enjoyed today's podcast because we covered a lot of grounds. And I'm going to quickly recap some of what we covered before wrapping up today's program. We looked today at content design and presentation structure. We looked at content research and content creation. We also look at content delivery and personal branding. The next topic that we're going to be moving on to is content recording and content editing. Now, we look at all of this in the context of the importance of developing a strong brand image and building a reputable brand. And what we're saying in business, these are strengths that you need. So I didn't only tell you what you need, I started to give you some ideas as to why you need this. And I gave you a lot of examples of some practical steps that we would have taken with two of our channel. One is Habits and Money and the other is Bestseller Portal. I went into facts that over the 7 months, we have attracted over 50,000 subscribers to our platform. We are reaching over 50 countries and we're able to attract over 10,000 views in a short period of time to our platform. We are now carrying that to hundreds of thousands of views and millions of views in the long term. So that is the game plan. We looked at a number of other important facts. Why is it necessary or important to optimize your visibility on social media? We cover grounds like on YouTube, you have 2.70 billion users, approximately 122 million users per day. Are you leveraging this as an opportunity to increase your visibility, your reach, your impact with the potential to convert the ideal client? But as you think about all of that, I'm saying to you that there's a right and wrong way in how you deploy your skill sets to make this happen. Again, my name is Gary Thompson, and I must say it has been a pleasure being with you today. And I do look forward to being with you in the next broadcast. We will continue in the next broadcast to look at the importance of having a strong brand image and a reputable brand. See you soon.
Pitch Deck 101 LLC out of New York do more than just support our clients to pitch their businesses to investors access working capital at 0% APR. We also support our clients to grow and scale their businesses faster and cash flow optimize. Pitch Deck 101 LLC recent partnership with 10X Branding Marketing LLC and Global Capital Inc. out of the USA has enabled us to form unique partnership with multiple financial institutions, which means we can do even more to accelerate the success of our clients. Let Pitch Deck 101 LLC give you the support you need to pitch to investors, access capital, access new markets and grow and scale your business. Contact us now on 332-235-1099 for a free consultation.